So guys, golf clubs are finally reopening. Now this is great news for those of us who have been stuck inside for the last few months. Golf courses in the UK have been closed I think for about 2 months now, and it has been absolutely killer, especially as we have had some amazing weather, guys. I know you guys will have been desperate to get back onto the golf course, a lot of you. Some of you may never have even had any time off. I know there are some courses over there in America which have probably never closed. But what does golf look like now? What are the rules going forward that we have to abide by on the golf course? When my golf club reopened this week, there was an absolute nightmare because they've implemented this online booking system which is run by the Club V1 app, and I know a lot of you watching will probably have your golf clubs run by the same app. It's like over 700 golf clubs I think are run on this app. There was an absolute nightmare at the beginning of this week. The app was crashing, it was doing all sorts of things wrong, people couldn't get on to book. It was just a nightmare, absolute nightmare. So I feel for you guys if that happened to you, because it happened to me and it sucked. But it seems like it's working okay now, so fingers crossed moving forward. What are some of the rules we're having to abide by on the golf course? Each course will be slightly different. Each course is able to make their own rules, and I'm sure there'll be some different ones out there. I'm sure courses will be implementing different rules. I'm going to share with you some of the rules that my golf club has implemented. My golf club doesn't normally have a tee booking system unless you're playing in a competition or something. So what does that mean for right now? Well, we now do have a tee booking system. You have to book all tee times, obviously, because you don't want people queuing up on the first tee and 10th tee and etc. You can't have people that close together. So they've elongated the gaps between tee times. It is now 10 minutes at my golf club, which doesn't really sound like a lot, but there are some pretty big gaps. I've actually played today. Being on the golf course was weird today. Really weird. Like, there was not many people on the golf course, even though the tee sheet was booked. There just weren't many people on the golf course, which was great. It was good. It was a bit eerie though. It was a bit odd. But anyway, that is the first rule. 10-minute gaps between tee times, and you have to book, and it's 2 days ahead at my club that we're able to book now. Another rule which is frustrating, but at the same time probably a good rule. You can only play once every 2 days at the moment. My club started out saying it was once every 3 days, but that changed within like a day. I think they changed the rules like 4 times within the first day or 2 days. They hadn't even like opened yet. What does that mean for us? You have to plan a bit further ahead, because you have to think, alright, well, if I want to play golf on Saturday, I can't play on Friday. I have to play on Thursday, and I have to book it all ahead, and you have to book down which member you're playing with, because my golf club's doing members only, no guests, unfortunately. But there are golf clubs doing guests, because I played at a golf club on Wednesday, the first day they opened, and they were having guests. And I know a lot of others are as well. A lot of others are. Some are very much more relaxed on some of the rules. Some other really interesting rules for my club: all the practice facilities are closed. That means the net's closed, the range is closed, the practice chipping green's closed. The only thing that is open is the putting green, and you're only allowed 2 people on it at a time. Now, this putting green is probably about 30 meters by 18 meters or something. Pretty big putting green, so to only have 2 people I think is a little bit overkill. I think you could have made it 4 quite easily. Also, on the practice putting green, the holes are interesting. They're more like kind of sand buckets than golf holes. Very shallow, filled with sand, not cut very well. Putting green itself is in good condition. And then the golf course, when you get onto the golf course, what is that like? Well, my course is in great condition at the moment, as you would expect it to be, really. I mean, there's no excuse not to be. We've had plenty of sun, plenty of rain, and no one playing any golf. Now, when you're on the golf course, you have to be playing with either someone from your member of your household, or you can meet one friend and maintain social distancing 2 meters apart, all the rest of it. But on my golf course, you are only allowed 1 and 2 balls. This is a little bit frustrating. It would be nice to play with more than one other person, and also sometimes it's harder to find one person to play with than it is to find 2 people to play with. I think they'll probably change that soon. I think it will become 3 people as well. Now, obviously, no touching the flag sticks. There are no rakes in any of the bunkers, so you don't have to touch any rakes or raking of the bunkers, which, to be honest, pretty nice. Not having to do any bunker raking for a while. Can't complain at that. The cups are all upturned, so you know, they're very shallow. You don't have to put your hand in them or touch the flag or anything like that, which is kind of interesting and, you know, a good measure to have in place. Other than that, things are relatively normal. The clubhouse is closed, obviously. I think just the change rooms might be open. But it is definitely good to get back to playing some golf. I have personally really missed it. It has been very, very boring. You know, I think these rules are going to be kind of slowly eased off and relaxed. The more we abide by them, the sooner that will happen, really. Let me know if your club's open, what some of your club's rules are as well. It's certainly been really interesting to see how golf clubs and governing bodies and everything and the government has kind of dealt with things, reopened things, some of the rules around it as well. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button, like this video, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Grip it and rip it, guys.